Testing. Okay, we're recording. Alright, part 1184, motor carrier pooling operation. 1184.1, scope of the purpose. 1184.2, concept of the pooling application. 1184.3, processing pooling application. 1184.1, scope of the purpose of the statement, the policy of the motor carrier pooling application, implementation, section 20 of the Motor Carriers Act of 1980. The Act of the provisions now contained in Title 49 United States Code 14302, 1842, 1184.2, contents of the pooling application. Pooling application filed on 49 United States Code 14302 shall include the following information: identification of all of the carrier that is part of the pooling agreement with the general description of the transactions, with the description of operating authority sought to be pooled, basis of establishing that the agreement is genuine pooling arrangement of the opposed lease of the interline arrangement, the description of what applicants consider the relevant transportation market effect of the proposed agreement, the competitive the routing servicing of alternative that would remain in agreement and improve to the best of the application's knowledge. If there's leasing or lessening in such alternative, the estimated of the public benefits of the accrue with the approval of the new competition that will derive of the offset of the leasing. The narrative assessment how the pooling arrangement affect the present future competition with the air would include the description, projected volume of fleet traffic of the revenues and commodities of which will be the subject of the pooling agreement, certification rates set forth the track move with the owner of the agreement do not violate the restriction of the collective rate marking contained in Title 49 Subtitle 4 Border Regulations. J. A narrative statement of the relative of the transportation importance pooling agreement it would be effective to the public in the national transportation system. K. If any known non-pooling carriers authorized to transport the subject of the traffic are not included with the pooling arrangement, explain why and explain where their inclusion would enhance the restraint competition. L. A statement of the energy environmental effects of the agreement, if any. M. Certification application of the representative made with the application are one of the best application knowledge of the belief in the true complete. Appendixes of applicant that may submit a copy of the pooling agreement. 2. Copy of the specific operating authority of each of the carrier was subject to the pooling agreement. And 3. The caption summary of the for the Federal Register publication of the pooling transaction sought to be approved. Alright, 1843, processing pooling application. After pooling application received not less than 50 days before the effective date specified of the pooling agreement, the board will either project for the determined initial whether the pooling agreement is major transportation importance, whether there is substantial likelihood that the pooling agreement will be unduly straining competition. Neither of these two factors presented with the application granted without further hearing with each factor is found to exist with the application published in the Federal Register using the caption summary filed with the application hearing with the schedule to normally receive the written verified statement to consider the issue further. In second phase of the proceeding, the board will consider whether the pooling agreement would be in interest of the better service of the public and economy operation with an unduly restraint of the competition. 1185, interlocking officers. Testing. And that was part 1184, motor carrier pooling operations of the Surface Transportation Board.